this and see if this is going to work. All right, study, study, study. All right, keys to studying for success. All right, you guys just proved to me that we aren't doing it, all right, as much as we should. All right, so key number 1, do not procrastinate, all right? Now, this is huge because most of us procrastinate, all right? And if you're a type A personality like me, very, very, busy and organized and, you thrive off of like high energy and adrenaline, all right? And this is something that I realized about myself later in life is I always procrastinated. I waited, I crammed last minute. And then I realized that that is very, very common, especially with type A minded people, because we do thrive off of adrenaline and the rush. And we tend to do our best work under pressure. Okay. So, but don't procrastinate, because studies are actually showing that if you set aside small increments of time, all right, that you're going to be more successful than if you kind of pack it all into one huge study session. All right, because your mind is fresh. All right, you're coming in with a fresh mind, and your mind functions better when it's fresh. Okay, so small bursts of studying, even if it's 10 minutes at a time, 20 minutes at a time, are better, okay, than you studying for hours. Okay, so don't procrastinate, don't wait. If you think about the amount of material that you are learning, right? Typically over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of time before it becomes test time. That's a lot of material for you to try to cram in the night before, okay? Or in class the day before, like I see some of you guys doing, all right? So here is really, really a key that research is showing, that active recall is actually better than passive studying, okay? So what does that mean? So think about how most people study. Most people study by either rereading or highlighting your notes, okay? So instead, try to do something like flashcards, okay? Because what that does is it actually requires your recall of information, all right? So it's kind of like almost quizzing yourself. And when you ask your brain to work actively, it is showing that your ability to retain the information is a lot greater. Okay. So rewriting your notes, some people do. And I don't know, that never worked for me. That seemed like that was a lot of work. Instead of rewriting your notes and just recopying your notes, right, mindlessly, try to summarize what's in your notes. Put it in your own words, make it your own. Because if you are understanding it, right, then you are going to be better at explaining it, okay? And chances are, once you understand it and you put it into your own words and you made it your own, then the chances that you'll remember are going to go way, way up, all right? So quiz yourself. So this goes back to the same idea as flashcards, all right? So sample test questions, okay? So practice tests are huge. Quizlet is awesome. We didn't have that when I was growing up. Kahoot, all right? So those are some of the things that can actually make, studying fun. All right, very, very huge. So they're finding out that the visual pathways of your brain are activated, right? And when they're activated, it actually helps you retain information. All right, so try to make visual aids, charts, diagrams whenever possible. Another key here is to go over missed information. All right, so if you miss a class, I'm going to, even when we're back in the classroom, you guys, I'm still going to have the Google Classroom up and running. So everything will be there for your access. Okay. So when it comes time to study, all my materials and stuff will be easy, easy access for you. Okay. So make sure if you do miss something that you go over and cover it. All right. So you don't want any gaps in information. Use study guides. All right. So if teachers provide study guides, use them. All right. Attend study review classes. It blows my mind the number of kids that don't show up when we offer, skill practice and skill labs. So take advantage of that, because, your teachers are really, really here to help you. Okay. Use study groups. All right. So study groups have shown to be very, very powerful. All right. Now, you don't want them to be too large, but even if it's 1 or 2 or 3 other people, The beauty of study groups is that the interaction allows you to gain the information in a way that you can teach and be able to demonstrate it with others. So when you can do that and you can teach someone else, the chances of you retaining it and being able to recall it when it comes time for tests are going to be greater. All right. So study groups are awesome. All right. Ask for help. Again, teachers are really here to help you. And actually, we love when you guys ask for help because it shows that you are, you're hungry and that you want to succeed. All right. So don't ever feel like you're a bother. Use us. We are resources for you. Okay. When we get back into school, writing, math lab. All right. Great resources for you to, find a different atmosphere and a quiet place to put in some work, or at least it should be quiet. I don't know. You guys tell me. All right. So memorization tips. All right. They have found that mnemonics, have you guys heard of mnemonics? They're lists of letters or ideas used to memorize something. Okay. So when you have a lot of information, all right, and you need to kind of remember the components or parts of something, or even order, like order of operations in math or something like that, mnemonics are very, very helpful. Okay. So here are some examples I showed you, like I am DJ. All right. So for remembering the parts of the intestine, you guys have heard of Roy G. Biv, right? For colors of the rainbow. How about this one that I learned from my daughter? I play Minecraft at the crib. All right. So that is for learning the stages of mitosis. All right. And you can see those stages there. So instead of trying to just memorize them, come up with a mnemonic. It's an easy way for you to kind of remember. All right. All right. So some test time tips for you. Read all the directions and questions twice. Okay. I can't emphasize this enough. Read. All right. So read all the directions twice. Okay. To make sure that you're fully understanding what is being asked. Okay. And it's very easy to miss and to, not perform properly because you either misread or you're just scanning through. Okay. So reading twice, rereading, just making sure that you are understanding exactly what is expected of you and exactly what that question is asking. All right. So multiple choice questions, they have found that deductive reasoning, right, can actually help you when coming up with the right answer. All right. So also called process of elimination. All right. So usually multiple choice questions, there's one answer that is definitely way out there. All right. And you can eliminate that one right away. All right. So use your reasoning to eliminate the answers. All right. And 9 times out of 10, you can get the correct answer down to 2. All right. And if you can do that, you've increased your chances, right? From 25% chance of getting it right to now 50% chance of getting it right. Okay. So process of elimination, get rid of those ones that are way out that are definitely not there. You will increase your chances of success. All right. So true or false. Whenever you see absolutes in a true or false question, always, never, only, must, you want to kind of rethink. All right. Because a lot of times teachers will use those to trip you up. Okay. So if you ever see those, always, never, only, or must, take the time, reread. Okay. And just reanalyze your thoughts. All right. Circle questions you are unsure of. All right. This is huge. So instead of spending time trying to figure out one question, if you are unsure of it, move on, go back. All right. And they've actually shown that this allows your subconscious mind to work so that when you move on and then you go back, your mind has actually been working on this question without you even realizing it. So when you go back, your chances of answering the question are going to be a lot greater. All right. So don't waste time. Circle it, move on, go back. All right. Take your time. All right. A lot of you guys are very, very smart and you finish your test really, really fast and then you turn it in. All right. And there may be still 20 minutes left of class. All right. Instead of doing that, take your time, double check your answers, go back, read them. Okay. because you'd be surprised. Sometimes it's just a simple reading error, all right? And you may catch it that second time around, okay? It's also recommended that when you double check your answers that you do it by page. So instead of finishing the whole test, if you know that you typically finish with plenty of time, this is something specifically for you because it is recommended instead of finishing the whole test and then going back and checking all your answers, that you do it page by page. So you finish all the questions on the page, go back, double check your answers, and then move on to the next page. All right, so that has been shown to be better and more successful for you. All right, so those are the tips that I have for you. And even if you take one or two, you are going to be a lot more successful. Okay, so let me